What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Outlet Pass. I am sorry for being gone for so long. We are back. I'm here with my co-host Lamar. Lamar, if you want to reintroduce yourself, you can right now.
Hi, my name is Lamar, like you said. Um, I'm sorry for, being gone for a long time too, but like life happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're back. I think that's the most important thing. So yeah.
Yeah. Man. Yeah, so today we are going to be doing an episode on the WNBA because the season just wrapped up.
hmm
As you know, if you watch the WNBA, the Las Vegas Aces captured their first title. I think a lot of people are not surprised, and some people are because, at times they did falter. But Lamar, I wanted to get your thoughts on the entire season. What did you think? Who was the biggest surprise team to you? Who was your biggest disappointment? And how do you think about the Aces as the champions?
I'll talk about the Aces. Let me talk about the finals first, actually.
Okay.
Because I think these are two teams that were just never able to go over the hump. They've been to the finals a lot of times, and I'm not even just talking about with the core that they have. I'm talking about throughout history. They've been to the finals.
Yeah.
San Antonio, as the Silver Stars, has been to the final with Becky Hammon as their number one player. They've been to the finals with her. My bad, I burped.
You're good. You're good.
They've been to the finals like throughout history, and they've never been able to get it done. So to see them both get to the finals, one of them had to win, obviously.
Mm.
I was cheering for the Sun. I was cheering for the Sun for a bit because, I just like personally, I just like Jonquil Jones's game. So, I was cheering for them, but I'm glad Asia Wilson could get it done. I've been critical of her.
Yes, you have.
Sometimes I just feel like sometimes she just didn't like show up when you needed to, and the box score didn't do it justice. I'm talking
Mm-hmm.
about like the last like 2 minutes or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that could have been, and that could we could attribute that to coaching, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Because first year without Bill Laimbeer and they get a title. The come on, so definitely congratulations to them. I think the season as a whole was good. Not too big of a fan of the Commissioner's Cup, but let it stay. Whatever. I don't really care. Um, I think that my biggest surprise is the Atlanta Dream.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I don't expect teams, especially that had the number one pick, and they had Ryan Howard. Don't get me wrong, like Ryan Howard's a hell of a player, but you don't expect like rookies to just ball out
Ball,
and
exactly.
ball like I'm talking about ball out like that, and take them to the playoffs when that
Mm-hmm.
wasn't even in the cards for them last year. So that's definitely my surprise team of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Howard, she's gonna be a top player for a long time. So
Yep.
yeah, and and soon too.
Mm-hmm.
Right now it's being anchored by Asia Wilson and Brianna Stewart, but Ryan Howard is coming. So
Well, I think you still have Candace Parker and you have Elena Delle Donne, who are still greats too. He- here's here's what I'll say. I enjoyed this season because it seemed like at first the Aces basically were just running away with everything. They were just
mhm,
like the by far the best team, and I think that Chicago surprised a lot of people when they bounced back, they rebounded, and they started just going on this win streak
mhm,
of just winning and everything. And they basically ended up with the same exact record as the Aces by the end of the season. So it's kind
exactly
of
same.
funny.
Yeah.
The Aces were really, really good, and then they kind of faltered. I think they had like a 4 game losing streak, and then Chicago surpassed them, and then the Aces kind of rebounded and picked it up towards the end of the season
hmm
to basically take that first place spot. But yeah, I think you're right. Bill Laimbeer being gone and Becky Hammond taking over, I think it really changed the identity of the team. I think, like, to be honest with you, I like Liz Cambage and Asia Wilson together, but I always thought that there was something weird. Like, it always seemed not to work as effectively as they wanted it to.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that them going smaller, them playing a different brand of basketball changed everything, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that that's the thing. For me, my two biggest surprises this season were the Spark. They surprised me, and also the New York Liberty, because I thought that the Spark would be a lot better than they
Yeah.
actually were.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just that surprised me a lot. And then I thought that the Liberty were better than I thought they were going to be as well too. I think that they would have been a scary team to face in the playoffs without injury. So, um, yeah, but I think you still have to look out for teams like Phoenix. Phoenix is still really good, especially if we can get Brittany Griner back. That team's going to be a problem to deal with once they're fully loaded. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but like Lamar said, Atlanta is going to be a force to be reckoned with these next several years. Um, I want to see what Brandon Stewart's going to do in the free agency because I don't know. Like she could easily just go back to Seattle,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know. What is your thoughts on that, Lamar?
Well, okay, two things before I answer that. One, Atlanta Dream did it. I think I said Atlanta Dream made the playoffs. They didn't make the playoffs, by the way. So that's even scarier because they got a top draft pick now.
Yeah.
Um, with Candace Parker, she could come back, but she could also retire because she did hint at that. She said that she's not going to force herself to come back if she feel like she can't play at 100%, then she's not going to come back. So
Yep.
definitely waiting for that. But this,
Mm-hmm.
since you alluded to free agency, this free agency is going to be a really big one. I'm going to include Candace Parker in that discussion just because her retirement will play a big role in the landscape of the W.
Yep.
Um, I in the last off season, we were hearing rumblings of Brianna Stewart going to New York, the
Yep.
Liberty.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
To play with
so
Sabrina, that would be incredible.
right, and Bitnija Laney. So
Mm-hmm.
and Jewel Lloyd as well. I think she's in a free agent as well. I'm not too sure. Vandersloot's a free agent.
Mm-hmm.
I think she might retire. No, Quigley said she might retire as
Yeah.
well. So, I think she returns to the Storm. My theory is that she returned because this was Sue Bird's last season. That's just my theory. That's not a fact. So does she return? Maybe she returns because maybe she loves Seattle that much,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe she goes to a New York Liberty, and maybe wants to play with Sabrina. And then in terms of Jewel Lloyd, her free agency decision could depend on what Brianna Stewart does.
Yep.
Because if Brianna Stewart's not there, then she can stay and like be the number one, or she can leave because she doesn't feel like this team's gonna win anytime soon.
What about Jewel Lloyd to Connecticut?
I think that's the piece that could get them over the
If
hump,
they get
honestly.
Jewel Lloyd, it's
The
that's
thing about Connecticut is that they always get ruined by injuries because
yep.
Jasmine Thomas didn't play. The year before, I think it was Alyssa Thomas that was injured.
Yeah,
So
Liz Thomas got hurt. Yeah,
right.
I think last season. Yeah.
So if Jewel Lloyd can go, then I guess like I think they could have used a Jewel Lloyd.
Mm-hmm.
But I think especially in this finals, like they need better. They need to just make sure they take care of the ball, especially in the closing seconds. Because if you watch that game, they had it, and then
Mm-hmm.
they just made mistake after mistake after mistake. So I'm like, come on, man.
Well,
Um,
I think the thing with the Aces that Connecticut needed was that other people other than the stars stepped up
mm-hmm.
with the Aces because I know for a lot of people they weren't necessarily the biggest fan of Kelsey Plum before the season. Like they didn't necessarily think she was that good. And then look at the season she had, which is
Yeah.
insane. Because at one point when the Aces were on a winning streak, um, I think Dearica Hamby, I think Kelsey Plum, Chelsea Gray, Jackie Young, and Asia Wilson were all scoring double digits, right,
Mm-hmm.
per game. And then between Jackie Young, or not Jackie Young, between um, you know, Chelsea Gray and Kelsey Plum, like they were having at least 5 to 7 assists per game, which is insane, right? And they
Mm-hmm.
weren't even your leading scorer. Asia Wilson was their leading scorer.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those things where it's incredible. And Aces signed they signed Chelsea Gray again. right?
Yeah.
And they re-signed Kelsey Plum, so they're back together again. I think that they really missed the Erica Hamby when she was hurt. I think that she is crucial to their success, just personally for me, based off of what I've seen. But you're definitely right. Brianna Stewart is going to be a huge, like wherever she goes, it's going to be huge.
She's the totem pole. Like she's
She's
the
literally
free
going to
agent.
shift the power in the WNBA. It's going to be
Yeah.
insane.
So
Now, I
like, oh yeah, go.
no, all I was going to say is I can say this: the Washington Mystic. I think people are counting them out. I don't think you should count them out next year. You got to
No,
remember
you should
they
never
were
count them
coming
out.
back. They're coming back from massive injuries, right?
Mm-hmm.
They were coming back from massive injuries. Plus, didn't they have Tina Charles last year and everything because of the lack of Elena Del Don? So now that Elena Del Don's back, like they can have their core back together and
Mm-hmm.
everything. So
Natasha
I
Cloud is a baller too.
don't count them out. Don't count them out. That's all I have to say.
Um, no, Washington is one of those teams where it's like they just all, even when I do count them out, they always make it. They're kind
Mm-hmm.
of like I don't want to say they're like the Raptors or anything like that, but like hey, I'm a Raptors fan, so I'm gonna just say it, right? But it's like whatever record you think they're gonna have, they always outperform it.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's just me being dumb, but like I think that Elena Della Don is gonna be 100% next season.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's going to be good enough. The difference between their championship roster is because they don't have Emma Meesseman, and that's who they had when they won the championship.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing. But hey, Brianna Stewart makes her way to Washington. GG's
That
to the
would
league.
that would not be fair, bro. That
GG's
you
to the
have two
league.
former MVPs on the same team. That just
So yeah, Brianna Stewart is whatever Brianna Stewart does.
shifts the power.
Everybody else is going to follow. And honestly, I think she's that good. Okay, so I'm just gonna go down the list of teams, right? So Indiana Fever, they're not championship contention. Sparks, Sparks maybe, I don't know.
I mean, they have Jordan Canada, right? So
Jordan, they have NECA,
they have both
Atlanta
sisters.
Dream. Atlanta Dream, that would be a fun duo to watch on top of the draft picks that they have.
Yeah.
Minnesota, you could pair her up with Fee, Aerial Power, like Phoenix would be a problem already because that's basically
Phoenix is already really good.
Yeah, what they just have chemistry issues and their coach. I don't know what their coach is doing, but as of right now, it's just like chemistry, if anything, with the whole Tina Charles situation and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be a good team. New York would be a great team. Dallas would be a great team. She stays in Washington, they're still going to be good. If she goes to Seattle, I mean, they're still going to be good. Connecticut would be a problem because
that would not be fair.
Because now you have to deal with Jonquel Jones and Brianna Stewart, who can both stretch the floor and can both play defense. That's a problem. Yeah. Chicago Sky, if Candace Parker doesn't come back, that's just a replacement right there. Yeah. And then we don't want to talk about if she goes to the Aces because they just won the championship. So
this guy, yo. All right, so we're gonna do our final thoughts. Anything else on the WNBA season? Anybody want to shout out in particular WNBA? And just give your final thoughts, Lamar.
Shout out Jackie Young as well. If we're talking about the Aces, because we didn't talk about that. Shout out Chelsea Gray because she listen.
Chelsea Gray is a problem.
Listen, let me say this, okay? Let me say this, okay? I was cheering for the Sun, like I said that in the beginning of the show, right? Every time Chelsea Gray had the ball, I was like, dear God, she's gonna make the shot. Because that's how it feels when she has the ball, right? Not only with the handle she has, with the shot, like it just always feels like it's going in. Right. Mm-hmm. So it's like, nah, if Chelsea Gray's on your team, like I don't think she's the best point guard in the league, but like she's like a Jimmy Butler where she when the game matters the most, she shows up big. Right. So it's like nah, Chelsea Gray she's a Hall of Famer. I don't know what to tell you. Chelsea Gray balled out in that finals.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you completely. My final thoughts is this NBA season, WNBA season was very intriguing. I enjoyed it. Shout out to the Aces for the W. Great job, you guys. I think that what Becky Hammon did was just incredible. And she changed the entire culture of the Aces. And they're going to be a problem every year from now on, which is just not fair. Um,
One
shout
more
out
thing.
to shout out to Kelsey Plum.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to De'Erica Hamby because I know y'all don't get mentioned as much on the Aces. So shout out to you guys. Shout out to Sabrina and Ryan Howard and there's a lot of WNBA players I'm super impressed with. So I'm happy with the product that they put out.
One more thing. Shout out to Sue Bird and Sylvia Fowles
Yeah.
on an amazing career in the WNBA. Sylvia Fowles was on my team, like the Minnesota Lynx. That's the team that got me into the W in the first place. And then Sue Bird is just a legend herself. So
The GOAT, man. She's
yeah,
amazing, bro.
she's one of the. They're both like top, in my opinion. They're both in my top 10.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely thank you and congratulations on a great career. Enjoy retirement, and I'll be watching your Hall of Fame ceremony when it
Yep.
comes.
That goes for both of us. Thank you guys. You amazing basketball players. I don't know them personally, but they both seem like really amazing people. From what I've heard, everything I've heard from about Sue Bird and Sylvia Fowles just incredible. So you know, shout out to them because they put the WNBA on the map in a lot of ways. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so yes, thank you guys. So this is going to conclude the this video. Big shout out to Lamar. We're back. Outlet Pass. Check out videos daily. We're going to be trying to be posting at least 5 videos a week. If not, you can hit up Lamar. Lamar, what's your Instagram?
Oh shoot, what is my Instagram? iLamar96.
Yeah, so you can hit up Lamar, message him, say, "Where's the Outlet Pass episode? What's going on? This is ridiculous." Right? If he says any takes that you don't like, shout him out as well too. Call him out on his stuff on Twitter. What's your Twitter?
I think it's iLamar96 as well. It's all the same.
Yeah, you guys can follow us on our social medias in the description below. Make sure you hit a like on this video. Make sure you subscribe. Again, daily videos. Stay tuned for more. And we thank you guys for watching. Anything else to say, Lamar?
uh yeah. Lynx are your 2026 WNBA champions.